everyone, I'm John Rennie and welcome to the Boneyard. For those of you who regularly haunt the Boneyard, you may know that as well as being a filmmaker and content creator, I also lecture in film production and film theory. A question I get asked a lot is, what movies do you recommend? So I thought I could begin a series of film recommendations that helped inspire my love and interest in film. So for this spoiler-free review, we take a look at Ingmar Bergman's 1953 drama, Summer with Monika. This movie is one for the serious film lovers out there. It's slow, it's inspiring, and most of all, it's painfully beautiful. The story is simple. It is a coming-of-age drama of two young lovers who decide to cast off the monotony of working-class life and spend a summer together, living only for each other.
Kan du tänka dig att de jobbar hos Forsbergs nu, va?
Ja, nere i min gamla källare, va? De drar in lådor och bygger upp och dammigt och smutsigt är det.
Vi har gjort uppror, Monika. Mot dem. Alla de andra.
Why I find this work to be one of Bergman's best is that this is the first work I saw that made me realize that a filmmaker could capture something from my own life and turn it into cinematic magic. The story of this movie is something that we all go through, a passage from childhood to adulthood. And in Summer with Monika, the human understanding, an exploration of finding one's place in the world is captured wonderfully.
Det blir nog snart bättre för oss. Du. Vi kan inte fortsätta så här.
This work delves deeply into youthful innocence that slowly turns to the realization that life sometimes just turns around and tells you you can't have this, no matter how much you want it.
Nej. Sen har vi drömt själva.
And Bergman, who both wrote and directed the movie, based on the novel by Per Anders Fogelström, explores the fact that at the beginning of our journey into life, we don't yet have the tools to cope with love, humiliation, and loss. And sometimes these things are learned at an extraordinary and personal cost.
Vi har ju varann.
If you haven't already guessed it, Summer with Monika is also a heavily emotional movie. It may not be for everyone, and that it does not give us all the answers to the questions about life that it asks, but leaves us with questions, and asks us to examine within ourselves by looking at our own memories. What first pushed us over the edge, and what sends us to the divine peaks of happiness?
Vi ska ha det fint ihop, Monika. Vi ska alltid hålla ihop.
Bara du och jag.
It is a very self-reflective work, and asks that its audience partakes in a kind of self-analysis while watching the film. At least that's what it did for me. And why I recommend this movie so very honestly to you as a work that captured so very perfectly that moment that I grew from an innocent younger adult into someone with a deeper understanding of what people are capable of.
Jag ska ge dig förfölja din uppkäftiga vanröra.
Is that what I got out of it, and related to the most about it, is that sometimes life throws you a curveball or two that makes you think on your feet, and we can't always be the wonderful people we think we are.
Vi ska klara det. Vi ska visa dem att vi kan klara oss. Och jag har fått någonting att jobba för, Monika. Och nu kan jag jobba.
Who will just rise above all that love and anger that sometimes we are both lucky enough and unlucky enough to feel.
Kom så sticker vi med samma, hörru. Skynda dig.
Kom då.
It is a movie that challenges you, but also makes us think about the wonder and pain that we often feel in this world. This film is photographed beautifully in black and white by Gunnar Fischer, who worked with Bergman on some of his most remembered works, such as his classic film on the silence of God and musings on the meanings of existence, The Seventh Seal.
Vem är du?
Jag är döden. Jag har redan länge gått vid din sida.
Det vet jag.
Är du beredd?
But for me, Summer with Monika has much more of a grounding in reality than a lot of Bergman's works, and I think that's what makes it one of the greatest works, because it seemed to me to make it much more relatable to a younger film fan.
Du förstår, jag var alltid så ensam på något sätt. Min mamma blev sjuk när jag bara var 5 år. Så var hon sjuk tills hon dog. Jag var 8 då.
So, needless to say, the Boneyard most certainly recommends this movie to filmgoers looking for a more emotional and perhaps relatable experience that asks questions about life, love, memories, and what makes us complex human beings that sometimes don't even understand ourselves and why we do what we do. Summer with Monika is without doubt one of the first movies that I ever saw that made me realize that cinema can be an art form and can teach us things about ourselves, because on some level we all share the same basic human experience. And Bergman somehow managed to speak to a young teenager growing up in the northeast of England and made me feel that little bit less alone in the world. And I think that that is certainly worth recommending in the hope that Summer with Monika might be the type of cinematic experience that some of you out there in the Boneyard might just be searching for too. Thanks for watching, and I ask, would you like to see more of these movie recommendation episodes? If so, please let me know in the comments below. For more on Bergman and other filmmakers, please remember to like and subscribe. And as always, thank you all so much for listening.